Yama kwa babio na ochi dwumedie na aguso a wo share Adom TV live and also on Asempa 94.7 FM. I feel now do a video no ato ha. We already started having a very interesting conversation with Ora Augustine Blee, or executive secretary, the vice president. On where we are here, beja for betrase na afi ya twetwe enkomo. Ora Osai Kwame Griffiths, director in charge of IT for the NDC. Ono atnase sanso enchebia Kamaldeen Abdullahi, deputy communications director for the NPP. Ono so atnase na fe yede nkomotwetwe no yede ahihye so mamo zoom no stay with us mamo zoom no so no stay with us yebeba mo ho enchebia na fe yakenkan WhatsApp messages no any Facebook comments na aba no ebi enso so de amamo Ragefit akwaba Bibi Aboko. Before elections, you were a very familiar face.
Because that time, not register IT.
Yeah.
I feel Naja, one day digitization, one has to drive this.
Come on, didn't bet that's it.
Your friends say Dr. Bomia now economy me economists into na me
but you see how the IT no the abipia economy no and say you have no choice but
to surface
yeah that's a part okay Kamaldeen Abdullahi deputy communication director for the NPP come on salamu alaikum
oh wa alaikum salam
Bibi Aboko na me Adom ye ho
Aboko de na me nua Griffith osi
you see I na
I say dey akọ IT na nye economy bio
no
na me enye me nwa
okay put in that scope no
enye me nwa
say Dabi yenim Dr. Baumien
me say enye me nwa o kai say Supreme Court omukọ ye omo share pan the pen drive edema almost star witness asidi nketia na nso koduru honom pen drive wonu kwa wanhwe so ne o request here say yempe analog calculator man no punch
about deal no
that was what he requested for nje nyame wan say NDC for digitalization ye kan wan say mo nti ase menu Griffith nko na e obi a why computer science for NDC oh no he's the only person how no so ofelu Osa felu omo poto
that will not be a fair comment in the whole National Democratic Congress Osa Kwame Griffith nko no ye computer literate
unim de jama kasa asem NDC e share that tenance e star witness say abato na ye ko ya sisiyen no ye sisiyen no ye ko Supreme Court akwa chirechire mu say ye sisiyen na so enyina nim say electronically e na ye compile elections results na e ko duru ho a o say the pen drive mame na me de minim computer mu ntime say mo pe calculator mame na me punch na me nchire
first of all
if not Griffith mo nti ase meje wo so
first of all say uzi e focus on the subject here ebeboa no politicians asamna at that table no so koya na fe ya de na baby
so yenye shasem class but I'm describing to Ghanaians who because digitalization I can was mo suma mu he mo nim ne ka because election results okay say your friend say me Steve Atubiga oh cry NDC. Or say you can set up a collation center like Binduri Internet Cafe and things you want to win election.
These are all
digitalization
distractions that politicians will deploy.
You see
when the subject on the table almost a problem kesi.
Okay, we'll go to the subject Griffith. But young subject now very
good.
Mene Orabli kasa you were here.
Yes.
Na uti who say we pa on the issue of digitalization or sense of digitization of the economy as a party tama mo wa ban mu no. Me 5 to 7 minutes. Ni amu ye baby amudi beduru yi ementi mo feel say MPP aban no abeto aso e bia kwan bi so no you expect some sort of credit so we there and this is for the chance na abeto aso enti credit bi o hot man ye ne NDC fo nyina na eche ehin na mo chance free ehin fa na mo di bedu yi
ye rich kan em say me kira wa hafu nyina na digitalization one of the scholars are me picking womu literature on the internet anope ya or say a digital economy is characterized by a digitization of many products and services and the use of internet and other networks to support economic activities. Traditional marketplace shifts to the virtual market, because it makes my point.
But I like the first part now already, you know. Yeah.
So the use of internet and other networks. In fact, there's another scholar in who is the lead networking instructor in CBT. I don't know, CBT Nuggets, what you It's a leading instructional company.
Yeah.
Jeremy Chira. So I don't know whether I've mentioned his product well. Or say in our normal day-to-day life, what is a network? What does the network replace? And he goes ahead to say it replaces the roads. So we need to build roads to places because farmers need to transport their goods. We need, to build roads to places for commerce and what have you to take place. So these are the roads. That is what he said. The vice president said on page 46, page 20, it's point number 46, businesses are now taking place via Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and what have you. I agree with him totally on that matter. But let me also place on record, say, under the leadership of President Mahama, the fiber backbone that enables these activities was built by him. 1,000 kilometers of rural fiber network was built by President Mahama. From Accra through Volta region, Oti, through a friend say northern, northeast, all the way to Boku, was built by him. And they said telcos no, they will not do this infrastructure because or the idea of Kokrobiswa. Now say better taking 100 years and some will reput the cost and some prepare profit, he won't do it. So government had to provide that infrastructure that will allow the rural folks, telcos to plug in to provide efficient services for it. In fact, one time I was in my hometown when one of our organizers, we were that Bynum area, which is a very rural area. He had posted bushmeat on the status. And then I quickly sent him a message. Oh, Charlie, Mamin Farmer Montreal, can I send it? Also, me post to you, anyone our crowd will be here. You see, it is enabled by this network. And President Mahama, I don't know whether the MPP, they can tell us how many kilometers they have added. Nothing. They haven't added anything. Now, even within Greater Accra and Tema areas, we build a metro fiber network because the commercial activities are huge within a Greater Accra metropolis. 300 kilometers that would enable, Wi-Fi and ICT services within the Greater Accra. So it was built by President John Dramani Mahama before we left office. And that makes all this into a NIA, sorry, that's what rural areas register because he needs connectivity to do instant issuance. That connectivity was created by somebody. Let me count here. Good. Let's talk about GOTA. One more. A trafo ya so magu national security me we be na GOTA bobo mo ha no de ya mensem.
Na say muso ma penso na GOTA o.
Ana.
Let me security for na mu use GOTA.
We built 4G by 4G by we built 119 base stations across the country.
119?
Yes, base stations across the country. That will enable your friends say G2G, interactions, 24/7 internet, access to government institutions to enable them to be efficient. So in fact, Ashanti had 23, Greater Accra, I have the distribution per.
Greater Accra was saying?
26.
26?
So
do we have one close to us where we are now?
Well, I'm not sure.
Because I really want to.
I'm not sure exactly where but let me make this point. These are the infrastructure that enables the applications and the services that will run to create the digital economy that we are talking about.
Me too.
So for you to say as for 8 years, no, we went to sleep. Now we didn't. But having talked about the network, let me also talk about one of the things and I agree with him. Oko page point number 6, page 4. And if I may, it says data is the basic requirement for participation in a digital revolution. I agree with him.
That's true.
I agree with him. Well, let me indicate here, say, under the leadership of President Mahama, we built the biggest 3-tier data center in West Africa, the NITA data center. It has 600 rack space. Say, one say, a year, where a rack? Sir, racks, I can see,
yeah.
Makuma 600 now. To house data, the data that the vice president is saying, it is so important, which I agree with him. No? The largest 3-tier data center in West Africa was built by President Mahama.
The type of data, educators, a type of data being almost all.
Well, most of the e-services here, the servers and applications are running from over those data centers.
Okay, so service and applications.
Yes.
Okay.
So the data itself is there. The applications that people interact with, they are all being stored there. Because you see, in the normal scheme of things, because the vice president said data is so critical, I will say data about home. And in the standards of building data center, a recommendation is that about a minimum of 50 miles away, you have to create a disaster recovery center. A backup, more or less, backup the same computer, no backing up. I go pen drive so.
Yeah.
No matter to fear.
An external hard drive.
No me the way now. I just say bibi ko si. Na say computer crash ya na so be crash huma. Na che say me data na anya dey.
And you're right.
KUST will build an ultra modern backup data center on KU in Ashanti region.
Okay.
So let me tell you.
So the Ghanaian will ask, how was it able to develop the economy? But whilst you think about that, Mame Enko come out in ho. Now, I mean, having listened to the NPP paints the picture as NDC former, but listening to Osei Kwame Griffiths, I remember come out.
Yo, me that's it, me made a how cry a was a semi and mammy and they say at the papa be say any animal papa be say a buying any yen timamu for na I was saying na ye fuaso na ye sum na emwaye esan say there is what we call global digital revolution. I say na and drift time fa honoma yan hwe na ya ka chire there ha me wa asem we nyina ne say question I will be say me say MPP for say NDC nye hwe NDC for so say there be yeso ye bibi yan hwe ya na de akodane NDC MPP na no betina ha me saka asem we menua we have what we call the fiscal infrastructure that you will provide to enhance digital revolution.
Absolutely.
Or digital back. That is there. Like he's referring to data centers, referring to backup centers, referring to service and all that. These are things you can feel. They're tangibles within the data revolution. What you say? Again, we have the soft infrastructure. And also, I will say a platform you create after you result, as a result, to be able to make sure, say, what you might digitize it. What I say? That e-pharmacy, e-governance, e-whatever. Now we are in the e-era, e-procurement, and all those things come up. What I say? Now, ye nim, na say ye nim as o mine, and timi anka say ye build it on our capacity ye wono. Na ye de bedane, and na we, and a way, and a way by your son way, yan ya will not get the conversation right. When you are Griffiths say hi. Whatever he does within the IT world, e-governance in Ghana no, ekobwa Ghana. whatever me amete hayi na se nyakopo ma menimdie na se meye under the e-governance structure ebe bo Ghana no na ekobo Ghana sanso na Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia the vice president eno ono tena ha opese nka all radical and make a mockery of him say we are moving from economics to IT which in fact I found very weak because clearly when you talk economy and when you talk IT difference being in this revolution okay. Nti asema make can say mesre
come out yes you admit say na okay no say for physical infrastructure and no there NDC
not only physical
I have not just said say it's an admission to what he is saying okay I have not that's not what I'm saying I'm saying that your conversation was say healthy I mean they say yeah baha na me hwe mo flyers no so me hu say Franklin Kujo
obejo ni esia obejo ni
other your friend saying
Augustine Blake
and some other person again I think also now make you see it's not for any reason and I'm more panelist such people to discuss this matter because Ghana is supreme in this whole case now we will not take it away say ene nanado mra and our time and I get Tima making sure say from 15.5 million people have actually been put on the Ghana ID card system. Under Nanado. That's a fact. Let's not take away that. And no say Nanado be president. And I heard say data ehun here say na me nua sika ye no. Ye wo say ye hu nipa nyina ye hu obi biara o Ghana. Omo ye timamfo, omo ye foreigners. Ya na ye ka say yenye national identification and try as much as possible say ye the system bia ba obia bebaso na sa card no so it's not again out of play to say under Nanado and out of the 15 million people no ye who say Ghana for nyina na only 4% of us na etua tax we had tax population now taxable population now it was only 4% but after ID card na ya integrating 10 number from GRA and from Register General na Ediba no ya dey integrity and who's
about 86% now
yeah they are almost 86% people are taxable population people yeah memeka 86% and yes say omo no mutua tax say but there are those we have identified say omo tua tax many yi o just say that is also another good move under the nado na ne o da dem a obetima tam phone me say oh me passport crowd sorry en cause queue say o passport you go on a platform and apply and put everything there. Ochina na courier bi e your passport e dey bro fie under Akufo-Addo asi. It's under Akufo-Addo and our health insurance ewu you don't need to go to any health insurance center. Otame ya na wa for phone pa na wa renew health insurance na wa for hospital under Akufo-Addo a fact. Again under Akufo-Addo me no wote hey say ope your friend is saying driver's license you don't need to rush to DVLA to queue Goro boys no ya yini nyina afirimo nti obi ka economy no ka say ya move akọ IT aja economy a sa nipa no say he doesn't see the link between IT and what we call the true economy of this country. And I'm saying that the digital revolution is good for Griffith, it's good for me, and it's good for you. Yeah, but now MPP NDC, we won't get it right. Governance is a continue. Okay. And my point is that I am not sitting here to say that MPP in Kwan, yes, I agree with him sometimes. When he says that the fiber optics and whatever, we come from far. Under President Kufuor, it started. You understand?
Yeah.
We had e-governance proponents pushing for it. The Kwaya and the Mills and Mahama, we saw something on it. But trust me, for it to become softer, you say, I feel say, in fact, normal it is under us. Again, but I'm not saying that we are entirely claiming credit. Into Dr. Bawumia lecture, 1 year daje, atimako printed to Hanuma. Read everywhere, baby. I know how Dr. Bawumia say NDC for enye. He never said it in a way.
But of course, no.
Jerry, don't do that. No, Jerry, don't. It's needless. Here I'm saying that nowhere did the Dr. Bawumia complain or say NDC enye. He never said he won't go that petty. What he said was that admonition. Ye momo de ye nyina nsom. Na ye digitalization na ye ka ho asem no. Emmo Ghana, na Ghana enko kan. That's what Dr. Bawumia said. And I think that admonishment or the man and mabunu or the man, the youth of this country, it is something that is good for all of us. Now you say, but now reduce the beer to politics, and this is a very important conversation that, of course, will cut across, and meaningful Ghanaians will adopt it and use it for us to help us. Now, the other have a cry, medicine.
Yeah.
And he say, look at our population. People in our school. And many have not been able. Even young cry yako school no cry. Nipa any computer. Oh, so my point here is that yemma publicity. When Griffith sat down under the organization of NDC, Griffith and Kamo Montia say IT is very critical. Sanso na so under young organization as a political party. Young Kamo who say IT is critical. Now obedu baby no, obedu baby you be found wanting. I give you an example. Now no mekaye. I had a chance of traveling outside a little. Now, me go to Canada. What happened was that at the airport, frankly speaking, me I thought say me go share immigration, the normal immigration there. I get my passport, ya stamp here. I say, Obiya nfi me. Me also Obiya train the bag and no akojina machine bi we na machine to say. Obiya train the bag and no the passport ato so no the na me so me hear ma me na me say ma me so me dey ma me. Let me dey chi. Oya wi adam so oya adam he. Oya na me hear bibia me wi na me train me bag ko here. Straight me pay ya na e call luggage. Police now be say me he obi am be say me he say machine now me dey me sako see so me dey me passport see so me answer questions 1 or 2 no bia no. That is the immigration process. You understand?
Yeah.
And at that point it has eliminated that human interface now. And ka ebia obi kura he wenim say na wo ho ofe dodo or say me kura ma me hane kakra. And now here wenim now say we are black or say we do you black racism ma me o mo eliminating the nyina afi ho. I suffered. Then finally, Mestre say we should try as much as possible again to educate the masses. Omo asebi omo nim use ni abnormal. Yen chiro omo. We insurance now and then over to my phone Abdali *920 na who say insurance e wu anase enwu ye no ni nyina eye dwuma say. And then Nado, all this thing is working. We are saying we've done well. They have also done it, but let's move on and make sure digital revolution will take over Ghana.
Okay, Kamaldeen Abdullah is the Deputy National Communication Director of the NPP. Griffith, quick one.
No, responding for that. I only told you to do politics.
I said we could break, but just 2 minutes.
I didn't say anything. 2 minutes. Why are you responding?
Okay.
But 2 minutes, not no break.
Na cobra mum na menya.
Mami cobra na mema equal time.
To respond to me.
Na mema equal time. Kamaldeen Abdullah.
We have to put things in the right perspectives.
Mate.
Yeah, boy, man. Do the co break brana 2 minutes answer man.
Yama kwa babi Nnawotwe Yi dwumadie esuni medin the chief Jerry Force and UTA so Asempa 94.7 FM. We are having a very interesting conversation off air krano na argument no eguso a ekoso Kamaldeen of the NPP Osei Kwame Griffiths of the NDC. Osei Kwame ma membra o ansa na ye be kona ka me ba ho for response to Sembia Kamaldeen areas and then we are ye be ko certain specifics.
No problem at all. First of all, say Minuane kasa no or can say there's nowhere the Vice President said, NDC by Yanya. If you go to page 11 of his speech, point number 23, he says that on coming into office, we moved quickly with the issuance of biometric ID cards, that is the Ghana card, to the population. The Ghana card project was initiated by President Kufuor, but abandoned for 8 years.
So that's a fact. That's specific on it. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
First of all, let me place on record here. And edit here saying.
Seth.
On the 15th of September 2017, the system that issued the first card for Nana Agbo Akufo-Addo, NPP didn't add even a pen drive to that system. Factory acceptance test for that system was done in December of 2016. As a fact.
No.
Let me repeat what I'm saying.
Repeat what you just said.
I'm saying the first card that was issued under this system, and Ghana it was card. Issued, yes, Ghana card. On the 15th of September 2017, the new patriotic government administration led by Nana Danko Akufo-Addo didn't even add a pen drive to it before the system was issued.
Okay, but up to
the
date,
acceptance,
has there been
said they have done enrollment. That is why they are very clever. They say, sir, we have enrolled. The system was inherited. Let's make that very clear. When we took office, we inherited the system from President Kufuor.
Yes.
A brilliant concept with all the necessary regulation, laws and what have you passed. The issue is that the brilliance of President Kufuor's administration was that he wanted a situation where we had a multifunctional card. And what does that mean? Card bako, and una NHI for be issue, and una DVL for be issue, and una a bank kramatagina one mu use ID card be no be issue. So a multifunctional card. And 2, an integrated system. What does that mean? System 1, DVL4, 8 me tap into, NHI4, 8 me tap into for their biometric needs. And every country in the world needs one civil biometric system. The only problem is that, and I really commend President Kufuor's effort in this matter. The time the system was set up, they picked only 4 fingers because that was what was trending in the world. That's number 1. Number 2, certain critical data needs were many. The cell phone numbers, the old system, no, near phone numbers. And you know, the problem arose whereby NHI started doing their own biometric system. DVLA started doing their own biometric system. Passport started doing their own biometric system. All these AFIS systems costing the average of about $60 million a piece. So, okay, so the year boreholes and Kagana year boreholes in our problem, gains no problem we are solved. But this was what was happening because the parent institution that was mandated to was deficient in a way in terms of data needs, their data needs. Now, the last AFIS that was procured was in 2014. Then Omampeni John Dramani Mahama, through the Chief of Staff, issued a moratorium on the 18th of June 2014 to put a ban on procurement on biometric system by government institutions. And also pointed NIA into correcting the deficiencies and moving towards a multifunctional card and an integrated system. And that was the beginning of everything. On our own, as technical people, now we had started this conversation. So we went through the system, the cards and everything was specified. The friend said enrollment systems were specified. That time we had a project already ongoing. We are also talking to other companies to engage them in that exercise. So let me check. If the card specification was done by NIA, enrollment specification where we say per iris. I remember very well, I personally had a lot of grudge with a lot of the companies on the iris technology. You
were very instrumental around.
Yeah, of course, I designed the specifications with my team.
Oh, okay.
I was the head of biometrics and technology. So whatever they are saying, I wrote the specifications with my team.
Data center, it was an empty building.
No problem.
No problem.
And enrollment system, specifications of enrollment system,
yes.
It was done and partly supplied. A verification machine is done and partly supplied as under a contract called the additional equipment, which was $5.7 million. I'm not sure of the figure. There were some controversies around the central system, which we were moving towards a place where there will be no vendor lock-in. Nanka companies are who be me and I supply. So when you know machines be free, they pick the same specifications, and supply to that into panana bona day abaform. The central system acceptance took place, like I said, in December of 2016, before MPP took office. And when you say the previous administration abandoned your friends say NIA for 8 years, then you are not being genuine. I mean, friends say you are not doing the country any good service. So and these are all the things that we have rather had. Some of us, when we sit back and see the implementation of the system. Look, in the rush of the government to use it for as a sole breeder document for the registration of at a point, one more teacher card need to say the teacher near test paper. Do you know what that means? If you understand the technology,
I'm surprised you are seeing it as a rush, in the rush of the teacher card. Now, when you had 8 years, you started the very, very physical infrastructure, but when to me are implementing most of Sani Mano. And one more day about they are implementing some of these things. Now say it was in a rush.
But let me tell you what I mean, but in their rush. I didn't say they rushed it. I'm saying in their rush to meet that was some kind of Ghana card, no voter ID registration, and the passport also. We raised an issue, said the cards are not in the hands of people. You understand?
Yes.
The biometric card, the standards dictate. Says, oh yeah, biometric card. My yellow card, and me ma show photo and show an the amount. Yes, I know. To enable the services on the chip,
yes.
Me banner my bones no me ready card there will be a match on card to show say okay a war and pa because now we are twin. Now even crying the identification alone a problem. Then it enables the various keys because a multifunctional card NHI for a warm segment. A friend say you may run e-health services, you may run all those things. You don't want insurance companies reading the internet. There's a card management system on the chip. A regulated Adom, and that is when it is what? Enabled and activated for usage. So I want to make sure. And all these things were skipped because of your friend saying.
That's not true.
That's true. That's true. They gave the cards out. I know.
That's not true.
Do you see some deficiency in the cards?
No, there's no deficiency. There's no deficiency. Let me make this very clear. I am saying that there are cards in the hands of people who have not been initiated as required by the technology.
Initiated as required.
So is there a deficiency on the card? That's the question.
No, listen.
It's not true.
Listen. I'm trying to be very careful because I'm a Ghanaian. So and I look at a security aspect of things and you be me I put you out. So and also I don't want to undermine a credibility in certain aspects. But it will take. It is common knowledge.
You are IT expert.
Yes, that is why I'm careful. However, I'm not saying card useless. I mean, it will require money to correct some of the mistakes they have made.
What are some of the mistakes on the card?
Very good, please.
I'm talking about the chip initialization. Say, your friend say, Ghana for be brave or what? One more shy and say, one more young for verification machine. Uncle Siho. Nayamo Monsano. And Sanya the card, mom. Yeah, the cards no go box Mukoy. Anna, you show an imbo near the amount, which is wrong.
Wow.
And the reason why is that for the NIA to be able to distribute that many cards to meet the requirements, say, your friends say, I don't know, see a use for EC registration. They couldn't have deployed the equipment and therefore they took that step to meet that need. In my view, as a professional in the field, it didn't really warrant that. I mean, there are other issues that we can talk about. I don't want to delve into that. I don't want to push the conversation to that.
No, it's very important. It's very important. We are getting education.
Yes.
It is a name. Obi kuta card nibi.
Yes.
Now, you born inside. You verify the fingerprints.
It means as at now the card has not been initiated. That process must occur before services can run on the card.
Wow.
On the chip. But don't forget to say the NIA card itself, has all 3 levels of verification features on it. In fact, what is by inspection, by basic instruments, and by biometric. So it doesn't mean banks cannot use the card. It's still the most credible card out there. Let me make that point because I don't want to undermine. Like I said, financial institutions must take comfort to say it is still the most credible card out there and the biggest database that we have in this country.
Okay.
So, but you see, the point I'm trying to make is that let us not make it look as if, say, in 2017, January of 2017, MPP are buying taking over. And September, they were issuing a first biometric card to the president to initiate the project. That is the reason why I've gone through this history.
Okay.
So I'll make sure.
Okay.
Good. And you know, that is the point I'm trying to make. And rather not delving into some of the issues.
Fine.
So
it's fine. It's fine.
Jerry, a very important say, Yanyakunya Bisi Nesebetnasia. Teach you say your aspects in that area. Now you're careful kakra because certain comments will how make here you'll be pinned to it to give further and better particulars. Jerry, Obekaya ye ba abemuno. The statement made by Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia is a fact. Say indeed, President Kufuor Eshasiye on this NIA.
In NDC for abandoning.
Me say Eshasiye on that project. Ye be baya ko see 2009 and the NDC ba power. 2009 to 2008, 8 good years. 8 good years. Not a single card emanated from NIA. For you to say under NDC, we are issuing 1 card, not 1 card. Only. So if Dr. Bawumia makes a comment, say, you abandoned the work or the process of getting data, getting Ghanaians to have that important card now.
Okay.
It's not out of place.
Was that
I don't want to sway this conversation. I want to tackle what he said. And I'm only trying to build on the factual statement of Dr. Bawumia.
Okay.
Say, indeed, 2009, running to 2016, not a single card, and I repeat, test card came from the NDC for 8 years. So for Dr. Bawumia to have said that you abandoned it, Odika, and it's right, it's factual. Now, fast forward to the comment he made. Or say, in a rush to get voters or people to go and register to vote, ka say, Ghana card registration. Now, ono na adwin and he personalized it. Office say, and na man say you courage san kwofo sisa card edicot na say omo mananya issue. Now, omo go through the process
without
again.
having to verify fingerprints.
I know that
exactly.
when you are
That's
going, the main
That's the point he's making.
process however say wo kwakoje card no. The first process you go through to get your card. So na wo kwakoje you go through same process for issuance.
Are you sure?
To be done. That's what it is. I'm saying that is what it is. Again, since you an important question. What say as it stands now? Is he saying that
there's a deficiency?
Or no answer my war can say in the then it means that Uncle to come Kada and from so I was he said no, he's not saying that. Or say he gave an answer, emphatic answer that what you are asking him no, it's not so. He's not saying that card no and you're deficient. But what he's saying is that there was a rush to issue cards. Look, issuance was done. And the NIA I know, I spoke to Ghanaian, the NIA I know, make sure that every single person issue card no, will go through same process again to make sure the card is indeed initiated. When you have some peculiar problems, 1 or 2, obviously it's a human institution and obviously a machine. There could be some problems. But I'm saying that not a single card has been issued out. Abra, I'm making sure say it has been properly initiated for you to receive your card. Me tell you, me call Nanton. Eko ye me ID card. Me ye up to now, as I said to you, omunye issue mame. Me bisa ya, omo say card ne omo printy. Now I need to go through the same process. I menya me card. Na obi abetna ene catch Ghana for say card no ya print we na nka e bia ya make say ya print bia no me call na da mam no see issue but I think it's
the danger is where so obi Ghana card na ontimi friend djuma because
which is not true
and
I'm saying that it's not true he has answered your question last Jerry let me
1 minute
oh Jerry you have time Griffith
come on
Jerry time. Then he says that omu ye bibia na system a issue card first one demand na na don't go fado no that system no omu ye bibia build here then all we did was to come and then get a card issued to him. That's not true. Do you recall the procurement processes in this country to get a company that would help the NIA to ensure that the card goes through a process to be developed? Okay, so procurement processes no. Okay. When they were allegations that Professor Tifa had the money company beer and away so the money company beer, then what warranted that procurement process again? All we did was to come and print a card. And this is for Muntio. And there was again a procurement process to get a company. And I heard there was some company from India and some company, whatever. People had come in. Do you remember that? And if that happened, what was that procurement process for?
I will answer that.
What was it for? So when we sit here, and then we seek to tickle ourselves and laugh, then say things. Because for 8 years, we couldn't produce a single card, which is a fact.
Okay, let me respond to that very quickly.
I think it's sad.
I have to read
for me,
a couple of
the procurement process. So you want to know. I want to know why a procurement process.
No, I am saying there was.
And then the card issue
which was to enhance the same development. So I said,
I'm in Austria. I have my insurance card without fingerprints. Please don't lie, CJ. Tell the NDC man. And then Haruna Ibrahim says, what the NDC man is saying is true. No dispute on that. A friend of mine told me that when he was trying to register his SIM card with the Ghana card, he was told that his number is not in the system, meaning that his fingerprints haven't been initiated. So I think we should get some clarity from NIA.
Very important.
If you can get NIA on the line.
I think we should get Ganiu on the line.
Yes.
And Pedu, so it's been a Ganiu, NIA,
please do that.
Get some clarity.
That is important.
On the line.
But before we also do that, let me say emphatically that there were cards. I'm not saying every card was issued without
that is why I also said there could be issues.
No.
But I didn't say that.
There will be issues. There could be issues. But
they didn't deliberately issue cards like that.
NIA took a policy decision. Say, I'm best skip that process, in order to get a lot of cards out in the hands of Ghanaians. That's the point I'm making. Me Ghana ni haya na mtia. Me fie Ghana haya. Me boa on mfam kokot. That's number one. I've made that point. I hope that will put it to rest. The procurement process, we had wanted to Mpacho. It's not a mistake. It was a policy decision. Say, on
the issue of procurement.
On the issue of procurement. Yeah. When we finished all these specifications, central system was in place and everything, which we accepted December of 2016. We had hoped to say, through the procurement process, there will be a situation where you don't have a vendor lock-in, where one vendor is doing all the... we had issues with the procurement. I really don't want to go into that because as a nation, we have moved beyond that. But let me mention a few of those things.
No, but since you were very integral, you were part of it, what were the issues?
More integral than... President Kufuor cards, the two-dimensional barcode card, you better issue more than 10 million. What you now can say, Ghana almost old card, Nana, a 2D barcode. Yes, we issued plenty.
What were the issues with procurement when you were
well, let me mention just a few.
Compliance card.
Now, first of all, we wanted a situation where you would have, say, enrollment machine, and you need a creative vendor blocking. That's number one. We wanted more companies to come on board to come and do it. For us to have gone to accept the central system means at least the central system was ready and gone. A central system will mean say the idea enrolling is specified that it because samples crowd. The idea verification specified that it be a samples crowd a present. So that's number one. Number two, we also had an issue with the PPP aspect of it. I just want to mention two. I don't want to go and open another because that's another serious area I don't want to go into. But
You don't want to go into anything.
No.
Griffith is going into nothing.
The PPP aspect, we had an issue with it. So, when the company was claiming, say, he's expanding the PPP and what have you, we said, no.
The company.
We haven't, I don't want to put it, the company.
You don't want to go into it. He doesn't go into it. I mean,
you see, because the reason I'm saying is that there are private companies and relationships involved. So, I don't want to go and put somebody's company name there and say certain things that would, and I don't want to do that.
I get you.
Well, the PPP aspect, we had an issue with it. And the reason why we had an issue with it is that we thought that a biometric database is a critical national security infrastructure. And therefore, for it to run on a PPP, we didn't want it that way. So, okay. And therefore, there must be an open for companies. In fact, we had even engaged several companies, including one from Ukraine. There was an Indian company who had already spoken to us. I think the name was, is it 4G as a VV? That was the name of the company. I don't remember the name very well. There were a Serbian company who was also talking. A lot of companies have spoken to us and had given us quotations and what have you on how they can plug into the infrastructure. That is where I want to leave it. When the administration came, the initial idea was that they wanted to look at how to open it up, because the one that we were more or less working with, Kenyan IPRS system. I'm saying no, they don't want to deal with that particular company. You know, they want to open it up to allow other companies to bid for the various services that will come out of the system. We had no, of course, they are in power. You can't even have an objection to that. But I remember I wrote an article, if you remember, those days, criticizing a few things. You know, about how that process went.
Did you finalize the system?
Of course, it was finalized. We had a central system.
A properly so-called identification card.
And I make a choice.
That's the question.
And I make a choice. And I follow two lines. So say,
I mean,
what did they add?
Yes,
what did they?
And
I'm saying, what did they add to the system before?
Let's make progress.
Me say fine na you for no to so no mo meka nkyere o man nyina say. Wo mo no e ba ye no. Omo ba ye no. Again no mo ye ka ho mpacho. On sa wo kasa me ka bi o. Me ka bi mesra o. Oh,
na wo ye ka me nyina ma so ka we. O so nko ba bia.
Mimia. Oh, at the end, woman, the count. Nasa will be catching us any chrome yet because you are a bubble. I shall dear. Between January and September, you can't build a biometric system and issue a card. It's a fact. President Kufuor started in 2003. He started issuing cards in 2008. They make out here say. And this how Petraka said, mobile na mo magicians na mo issue first card September 15 September 2017. Less than how many months? Less than 9 months.
9 months.
Less than 9 months. It is not true. It's not true. So the system existed before you came into power. And so when you are saying it, I give credit to those who did work on the system.
Hassan Swala working Tampo. Hassan, good morning. Now there were some specifics behind the e-passport. Ghana card e-passport.
Yes.
You have some concerns with it.
Yes, I have concerns. I have concerns. He's
an expert. He knows it's possible.
Listen to him.
Okay. I will cut my brother some slack because he's not a technical person.
Yeah, I know.
But match him. Me too. And I like the fact say Dr. Bawumiaka said I engage Yakao. It's good for the nation. So on the and I would also start with the positive. I will give them credit, say, and let me explain properly for people to understand. Say, Ufri, Russia e Ghana. I want a Russian passport. Now we need Ghana passport. We have visa and so on. Unless you can prove so we are Ghanaian. Into about Krum. This is not the first time Ghana buying akeo information a boami identify Ghanaian. The dual citizenship card a paper card. Sa paper card no. So free Ghana ba. Na se minya photo wa ha me de betro.
O de kasa.
Free Ghana ba. Na se free Russia about Russian passport don't visa. What they account passport to one? They consider you a Ghanaian. The Ghana card has been added to the identity documents that helps identify a Ghanaian. It does not replace a passport. You still need a passport to travel. If you have a Ghanaian passport, you don't need a Ghana card. If you don't have a Ghanaian passport, you have a foreign passport without a visa, then you must show. Either say ukuta dual citizenship card. And I say ukuta your friend say Ghana card. So it has nothing to do with the fact that it's a smart card. Any dual citizenship card in here. Oh, a green. Oh, yes, you have Ghana dual citizen. Okay. This card, which is a paper card, serves the same purpose. So serves the same purpose. I'm telling you. Now let me go into e-passport.
Good.
ICAO defines what an e-passport is. And here Dr. Bawumia define it. In ICAO document 9303, it states that it is a booklet. That's number one. It must have either 28 pages or 52 pages for a frequent traveler. 28 pages, no. Ghana card, you need 28 pages, physical pages. Good. It must have photo, full name, nationality, date of birth, place of birth, sex, date of issue, and expiration date. So, in addition to that physical, a first page, no, it must have a chip with all this information on it and the biometric template of the photo for matching. That is e-passport. Now, who can't tell me, say, the mangrove tree dwells in a river and therefore it is a crocodile. Then you are telling lies to, excuse me to say, I don't want to say, then you are either being misinformed or you are misinforming the public. I want to choose my words very carefully. So, I'm going to tell you. You see, you can say, Penny, control. Name of the organization. And you're not correct. So, I'm going to tell you. Now, the most the Ghana card can achieve is called a passport card. If I Google the difference between passport card and e-passport.
Okay, so I'm reading something on e-passports here. These are the basics. I say e-passports add a layer of security to traditional non-electronic passports by embedding an electronic chip in the passport booklet that stores the biographical information visible on page 2 of the passport.
Thank you. So it is a book. It is with a chip that has an additional It's what we mentioned. Now, then a card, Ghana card, I have one plastic, small plastic, ever than e-passport. It's
not possible.
It's not possible. It's not the case. Let me also tell you this.
It's not possible.
This is not. There's another document called the passport card. Listen to this carefully. The passport card. The passport card is a card which has this information on the surface of it. And there's a chip in it, an ICAO chip in it. That makes it a passport card. So let me check. That passport card is not accepted. The worst case scenario is that if you have put an ICAO chip on a Ghana card, it can behave like a passport card. So let me check. But let me also state for the record, say, throughout the world, no country, including Ghana, for air travel accepts the passport card as a replacement for the passport. No country in the world accepts that. When you take the passport card and you take sea and land travel, there are only 20 countries in the world that will accept it. 20 countries. Canada, Mexico, Bermuda, and 17 islands in the Caribbean. Trinidad and Tobago, Haiti,
No, but there are more than 100 states and non-state entities, i.e. United Nations, currently issuing e-passports and over 490 million e-passports in circulation. And no chance saying if
and America say you are talking about who is issuing, and you are talking about
the same way.
You are talking about who is issuing, and you are also talking about a friend say how many states are using it or what have you. The problem is not with who is using it. The problem is with the fact that say o mampania be the Ghana card na be than e-passport. And one something you can say here. It's not who is using it.
I don't know. Say it's possible.
It's not possible.
For these nations, how are they using it?
They are using their passport. Traditional passport. They cheap. Read baby or defining e-passport. No, but so that I put my list in context.
E-passports add a layer of security to traditional non-electronic passport. Okay, so the e-passport, is adding a layer to book name.
So it is a passport with a chip in it. They're making an e-passport. The book, no. So the book, the definition of e-passport.
My card will come if I'm to do. Obusam said, "I'm a Ghana card." I'm a Ghana card. Jerry,
and you see, say a koba say a casse, Obi Kokase, 197 countries. Na Ghana web story crom picky chroma say no cry. Say 197 countries now. Ghana card has become e-passport can be used to travel to these destinations. It's not true. First of all,
Jerry.
I don't think the man himself, a friend say, the wedding of the, the replacement of Ghana card with e-passport, was a mistake. Let's accept that. It's not an e-passport.
Jerry.
Jerry. Opa, Google the difference between e-passport and passport.
I'm getting something here.
Unim say, and light is some of fear. You don't need to walk to the vendor to buy light. Unim say. Do you know it exists?
I know.
In Ghana now. Under Nana Adom Akufo-Addo. Do you know it exists? Okay? You know that. I want to say, and now Unim say, Unim say, and
politicians.
Oh, why is that a politician? I am only telling you, sir. Listen. I'm saying that. Oh, that's going to be only for you. I'm coming to e-passport. Don't worry. But me, besides Jerry say, and but what you want features of the card?
No.
No, I get it.
Hold it. Oh. And until I'm a producer director.
So I still have my time.
Okay, good.
And I'm saying that I asked a simple question. And then when him say, under Nana Akufo-Addo, or light is time be anytime you want to wait my nephew that will pass. Now at light, now light as well. That is what we talk or we say the digital revolution is indeed working in our era. I have made reference to the fact that se wa pomodin kra sebi bibi ha o kra na se o pese o ko siki health services are. With all respect, so card that we could talk health insurance, which all of it we are integrating into Ghana card, you will be able to sit down at the comfort of your home and then change it and then make sure say one your health. I'm saying that Zipline, look at how Zipline to transport, if you like, essential health needs from one destination to another destination using digitalization or using digitization. Okay, but for me, the mechanism say.
But this is an IT.
I know. Mr. Griffith. We also have, everybody has IT expert. We also have Eric. Eric is his very good friend. Eric Ntore is a very good friend of mine. He's a very good friend. I know Eric Ntore is a very good friend.
He's a very good friend.
And I'm saying that we also have But see, I'm saying that there are positives of what we have done. And you are not opening up those positives. Or shall I say on this e-passport matter? Or say, look, I can an example my ICA owner or my example.
I commended your government for
very good. Griffith.
Commended your government.
Said the initiation alone to get us to be part of it, a very good move.
Very good.
And of course, he goes further to explain what he thinks, in his view, e-passport is by the definition of what is on ICAO's website. But see, he knows very well that digitalization is dynamic. On him, he knows very well, say, it is very dynamic. Today, you may be talking about 28 booklets. Tomorrow, the next moment, I am telling you, digital revolution, you know how it works. Quickly, another concept comes in to say that it's not even more 20 pages, it's going to be maybe a single card, as it were. It is not impossible. Once we are able to have that card management system on our card now, we can and we are able to synchronize it with other platforms, I think, say, of course, usage of a card to likened to your friends say e-passport will not be out of place when the conversation is supposed to be done. No. We have not said we are there yet. We have not said, say, oh sorry, yeah, and there. And this is for some propaganda. I saw the video. The video is all out there. Say, Dr. Bawuya say, Ukuta card, I know I said sorry, no kwa US. Ukuta card, sorry, no kwa Canada. That is not what Dr. Bawuya. I saw your video.
Come on, Dean. What Osei Kwame is saying is that it's not possible. It is not possible. Say Ghana card here, say you cram same hey. It is not possible. Say yeah, the e-passport be then ebe kan aname boa. It can never be seen.
Just as he said in his speech, emphatically say it has become e-passport.
I am not surprised that is coming from the friend saying Griffith and Co. Only for them anything good that ever Ghana be is not possible.
Oh.
I'm telling you, and I'll give examples. Series of them. Anything Ghana card they kuta ukrano. Ye kase ye be issue Ghana card abwa amma Ghana card bano. They said they would not attest to what and support.
No. We had other issues.
And that they were having
not the issues of Ghana card.
It took the but the South Africa it was not going to work.
On my screen here.
Yes.
It's a specimen of an electronic passport. I think China.
Yes.
I don't know. So
I'm very familiar with electronic passport.
Okay.
You don't need to. I don't need to see it.
So see if you see the features on this one, on this very e-passport here.
Where you see that? Can I even see it? And
no, I don't need to see it.
Okay,
I am very familiar. What I'm saying is that when you take ICAO document 9303, it defines e-passport. I don't know whether people miss that point.
No, my point is, me share Ghana card here kura me issue.
Yes.
Features are a was no. Ebia na wo China dey that TV you see.
Which is the e-passport.
The passport.
Very good.
So what stops us from also using our card as an electronic passport?
Because dynamic on TSA no. Ono tinchina no here ni say 28 pages. 28 pages
the reason why it is not a passport is that
can you see what is on the screen?
I know, I am familiar with, I have seen.
But this is not 28 pages, that's a one page.
That is not a friend say an electronic passport. It is an information page.
But the man,
come on, Dean.
This is the information page of a passport. It's not a passport itself.
The executive secretary to the vice president, Augustine Blay, as also afraid into the program. But so clarify BB on the e-passport. Rable Utemenka. Hello, Rable.
Yes, TJ.
Yeah. But now over so can be kakra. Come on, I to train. I say I e-passport no. So yenti Rable.
Yo, me da say. Nam se me try say kakra. You Griffin explaining e-passport. Or focusing on passport as a book.
Absolutely.
But e-passport, e no gina how man bibi.
Electronic.
E no gina how my digital.
And electronic.
In society, digital no trust say. So all the passport no extra machine mo.
Yes.
Our airport, I say machine it making kind passport no. In this chip no na information go so. And that chip chrono ultimately go document via so according to a standard. It is also a Ghana and on the card or modest chip no according to ICAO standard no. I share or card no. Netherlands or more a national identity card no was chip no. So in compliance with ICAO, I will travel with it.
Okay.
Albania or more chip no in compliance with ICAO, multimedia 2 coin.
Okay.
Brazil was chip no card no multimedia 2 coin. US or more passport card. But our chip is not in compliance with ICAO. So I'm to me emphasize 2 coin. So the focus of the e-passport and yet book only a manual, a paper. That is not e.
Okay.
That's how that's how passports are. So to move into the digitization era, the ICAO say put your information on a chip, and because you travel with your passport, my chip and share passport move. By Yanga no. Chip on a passport, but as far as the Ghana card is concerned, the chip on a Ghana card to meet the ICAO
that makes it the
international standard.
Okay,
it does. Okay,
that's simple. It's not possible.
It is not possible. A 2 coin from one area to another. It has nothing to do with visa. Just the card is in compliance with the ICAO. It needs to coin based on the standard reaction.
Okay, it is only a Griffith in Yagi because I say it is not possible.
What is not possible?
That is possible. What I just told you.
ICAO na ye refer no. ICAO is an international organization, and a Ghanaian organization.
Thank you.
And a NIA organization.
Yes.
An international organization, sir. So who took coin from one airport to another? Omun verified document biya. Sa ICAO nankasa say, omo share ye Ghana card nimu. The same ICAO say, omo information you do ye Ghana card so. The same ICAO say, omo jiatum. The same ICAO say, omo the information you go machine so. In say the Ghana card no for airport. ICAO no mo can kind information on passport. And say ICAO no so bit ma can kind.
Okay.
And say ICAO no na human so be can kind. I approve so bit me da pass airport to airport. Now you and gina say possible. The one dey na say fa.
Okay. Sumame na eti
Mpacho. Em say asem no conversation no. Akofa baby a.
Emfa baby a.
Me bato. ICAO no International Civil Association Organization.
Aviation organization.
Yes, they define what e-passport is. Mpachomba.
Come out.
Okay.
They define what e-passport is, and in the standards which is used is called ICAO document 9303. It defines e-passport as a book.
Okay.
Mebo, mpacho. That has a chip in it. And that chip contains the same information on the information page and also the biometric of the photo. There's another document called the passport card. And if your producers can Google difference between e-passport and passport card, another document will surface. And no your plastic card. And as a plastic card, no, I was this ICAO chip here. I was to say the Ghana dia ya accept. Your friend passport card. But let me tell you why there's an issue.
Oh, you spend it.
First of all, the passport Pacho. The passport card.
Mr. Blaze is on the line.
Blaze is
He's on the line. So
the passport card, which the NIA card, if the ICAO information with it, ICAO will accept as being a passport card. And not an e-passport. For air travel, there is nowhere in the world where they accept it as a substitute to a e. And I want your producer to Google difference between e-passport and passport card.
Okay, there's a sample of passport card on my screen now.
Okay, very good.
There's an example of United States of America passport card.
Yes. In addition to this, they also have e-passport. In addition to the passport card, they also have e-passport. Now, the passport card for air travel, no country in the world accepts it as a substitute to passport for you to enter. No country in the world accepts
it. They are different things. E-passport is different from passport card.
I understand that.
That's a different
which the NIA card let me offer this information because it's very important.
He's saying, with all respect to my brother, he's repeating what Billy said.
I say number 2. When you take air and sea travel, there are only 20 countries in the world. If this is not a friend's century. And I've mentioned the names of the countries. So how are you saying, sir, 197 countries? What you have done and you have achieved is that just like I show you the dual citizen card, it identifies a Ghanaian. It will have a chrome, not a visa. That is all.
Yes, inti ura Griffith e confusion yema. Passport card. Chip now. It's not in compliance with ICAO. And untina e won't be in fact 2 points. American passport card, but Netherlands card, identity card, just like ours identity card, Omo chipper is in compliance with ICAO.
The same language,
the
same thing. I don't see the difference.
All right, yeah, that's
language.
It's not the same thing.
It's not compliance. So you should not use it. I'm an example.
That's
why you the president and vice president.
Machine to make in kind. Ghana card no.